The vision of the Ministry of General Education is to provide quality lifelong education for all, which is accessible, inclusive, and relevant to individual, national, and global needs. But how can this be achieved when there are some disparities in learner performance between the rural and urban schools? It is in light of this that the Ministry of General Education, through Chirundu District Board Secretary Ms. Veronica Mubanga, initiated a twinning program of schools between Lusaka and Chirundu districts in order to share best practices.
This idea came in 2016 during a result analysis. At that time, the district was one of the worst in the performance in the province. So when we started analyzing further, we saw that these challenges could not be actually overcome overnight, and it needed many players to come on board. This should not only be one-sided. Even the Lusaka schools must benefit. So both schools from Chirundu district and Lusaka district must benefit from this program.
The twinning program between Chirundu and Lusaka schools has already started bearing fruits. For example, Libala Secondary School donated a 29-seater Rosa bus to Hachpilika Secondary School. The community of Hachpilika Secondary School could not hide their happiness when the bus was handed over to them. The Parent-Teacher Association chairperson, Mr. Alfred Monga, expressed sincere gratitude to Libala Secondary School for such a generous donation to the school.
Ndagulumba program ya kutujita bumpundu aba Libala na training program. Abobo tukagulumba ku program apagatali ya program kambaga kuti tokwanisa kubapa Hachpilika Secondary School. Yalo itukahiriha ibuge hagabo tukana basibahi jigolo nobonka mu programs muri kumabola ama programs agu ya wabo. So iratugahiriha inga mali mahonto byo apegwa kuteka tola mungimba bona bana bamuka agujoga.
In another development, Chinika Secondary School of Lusaka District donated a solar panel kit and assorted kitchen utensils for the school feeding program, while T Junction School received a fencing wire for a play park for the early childhood learners. Mr. Kennedy Mulima, the head teacher of Siangwemu, has this to say concerning the benefits of the twinning program.
So the whole entire building, this building has been connected to power. If you came in the evenings, you find as if we are in town. So really it has helped us in terms of work like preparation, like examinations. So we have in the evenings, we have children that come to study. They go up to around 21 hours, almost on a daily basis.
Sikongo Primary and Sikongo Secondary School have not been left out in this wonderful program, which will relieve parents from the burden of paying school fees. The two schools are twinned with Highland Secondary School of Lusaka District, and they have since received a donation of textbooks and a printer. In addition, the two schools have constructed a crow for keeping their 44 goats, which in turn will bring money to the two schools. The head teacher, Miss Margaret Shalala of Highland Secondary School, now explains the objective and the magnitude of the partnership.
In this training program, we are twinned with two schools, Sikongo Primary and Sikongo Secondary. The goal of this twinning is to improve on academic as well as just cultural and social activities. The partnership is a two-way where we promote how the teachers and learners can exchange ideas from those in the Chirundu district and those in Lusaka district. The partners in Chirundu have made a crow where they are keeping about 44 goats. When the time comes, we are going to sell those goats, share the money, and continue buying some more.
We are twinned with the Highland Secondary School, and from the time when the program started, we have interacted in so many forums. Then what resulted was that they gave us a lot of books, and then we also embarked into building a library for the primary section, which is now at work plate level. It has narrowed the gap between the town schools and the rural schools.
And for Sikongo Secondary School, we have benefited where we were given a printer, and that has really helped us in the delivery of teaching and learning in terms of typing, what we need in terms of lesson plans, and also in terms of communication to our authorities. So this twinning has really helped, and surely if it was to be sustained, it should be able to go a long way in being able to assist schools.
Amana ndi pakulumba uli ba depsi kambo baba tupa kuti tuyane abaya bana alimu ja tu ndi pakulumba kambo kuti kwa chino chindi toletedwa secondary muzi mwa Sikongo.
It is exciting to see more urban schools in Lusaka district twinning with more rural schools. St. Mary's Secondary School twinned with Sintwiki Primary School, donated 20 double-seater desks to alleviate the shortage of desks which the school was experiencing. The head teacher of Sintwiki Primary School, Mr. Siabenzu Oliver, expressed his heartfelt appreciation for such a timely
and
relief.
And these good desks that we got from St. Mary's will accommodate 40 pupils, since there will be two. So it is a very big relief, meaning that embarrassment which we faced during the previous examination will not be there. All the pupils will be seated actually on the desks.
At Chisamu School, learners were learning under a tree after their school was blown off by a storm. The school twinned with Olympia School, and they came up with the idea of constructing a 1x2 classroom block. The head teacher, Mrs. Inonge Mudenda, from Olympia Park, now explains the progress made towards the construction project.
For Chirundu completed the classroom block that was standing for a long time. Therefore, we decided that with us, we are also going to start a 2x1 classroom, which you see here, to still continue helping the populace of the school-going aged children around our area here, Chisamu, to access education. So far, we have just done we are doing the foundation.
Monali Girls Secondary School, which is twinned with Kandabwe Primary School, has constructed a 3-bedroomed house, which is already complete and being occupied by a teacher. Monali Girls Secondary School is also building a 1x3 classroom block, which is on foundation level.
I personally is the occupant of this house, which is really a success, and we look forward to have more of this nature, so that other members of staff may not be underprivileged. So I thank you so very much for this move.
I personally and severally, I'm talking of the school, the board and the PTA, plus our friends here were able to contribute to the national development. We are contributing to education, because housing of a teacher simply means that the children will learn here.
We want really to work hand in hand with our twin school, with all means that before our program comes to an end, the structure should be completed, which will be beneficial to our pupils and the community at large.
The number of schools that are participating in the twinning program are increasing, resulting into many urban schools in Lusaka district twinning with rural schools. These schools include David Kaunda Technical School, Kablonga Boys Secondary School, which are twinned with Lusitu Secondary School and Ngombe Ilede Secondary School respectively.
As the Lusitu Secondary School, we are twinned with the DK. We have actually benefited quite a number of things. One of the areas where I will be able to mention which we have benefited is they donated to us some books for design and technology, which the pupils are using, which we never had. Then the other one is on this school. It experienced a natural disaster at some point where the roofs were blown off, and because of that the walls became dirty. So our twin school came and donated the paint, and this time around our classrooms are looking clean. They've come back to their normal state.
These schools have embarked on various projects ranging from goat rearing, fish farming, and building of classroom blocks. For instance, Kamwala Secondary School, working with the community of Simaundo, has constructed a 1x3 classroom block which is currently at roof level.
One of the benefits we've come up with, we've actually achieved this, is the coming up of the structure you can see here. This structure was not possible to be erected without the partnership. It was from the same that we were able to come up with the same block. And we are still benefiting a lot of things from Kamwala. Even ideas, they are coming up with very vibrant ideas, people from Kamwala. So we have learned a lot of things from Kamwala.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of General Education, Technical Services, Dr. Jobix Kalumba, in the company of Lusaka Provincial Education Officer, Dr. Sinkamba, visited the school and took time to listen to the community of Simaundo. Dr. Kalumba encouraged parents to support this wonderful program, and this is what he had to say.
To us as government, it has become a model of excellence. This has never happened before in my history of education, where the community in the rural areas, they cooperate with the communities in the urban schools. They create that partnership and come up with such kind of developments. Ejichintu chibotu maninge.
Dr. Jobix Kalumba proceeded to Ngombeilede, where he inspected a 1x3 classroom block under construction and the goat rearing project being undertaken by Kabulonga Boys Secondary School and Ngombeilede Secondary School.
So I thought probably we could actually work together. And so far the collaboration is working well. Our two PTCs will be having a joint meeting.
Yes.
And where they will resolve now, even an MOU now will be signed. But of course we've had some challenges in the infancy, which is normal, the unintended consequences. So I'm very excited because in the next few years, we may not require to depend on school fees. And all that. So what has challenged us is in the reduction in school fees to think outside the box.
The Permanent Secretary launched the fish farming and goat rearing production unit projects between Ngombeilede and Kabulonga Boys Secondary Schools.
2019, we launched the twinning program between Ngombeilede Secondary School and Kabulonga Boys Secondary School on goat rearing and fish farming projects.
The council chairperson, Mr. Shanduba Rapson, thanked the initiators of the twinning program.
First of all, I want to thank the initiators of the twinning program in our district, Chirundu. The program has assisted the district because in the district we have challenges of staff houses, classroom blocks. Therefore, the twinning program has assisted us on these challenges. So I want to appeal to the government that training program is a good program and it must be encouraged everywhere so that we can cushion up the problem and the challenges that the entire district, the entire country has in terms of staff houses for the teachers and the classroom blocks.
The council secretary, Mr. Mwanza, now outlines some positive outcomes of the twinning program in Chirundu district.
So I want to thank government, and also want to thank the district authorities through the Office of the DEPS for initiating a twinning program in the district of Chirundu. So you could see that the aspiration of the Vision 2030 are being done through the twinning program. The aspirations of the 7th National Development Plan, which government has put in place, even our own Chirundu Strategic Plan 2018-2022 is incorporated in the twinning program, because what is happening in other areas in Lusaka province and Lusaka districts is also going to be happening in Chirundu. So at the end, no one...
I think first and foremost, I would like to thank DEPS for the good work they are doing in our district. I would like to congratulate them for this twinning program, because it has brought a lot of development in our district. First of all, the twinning program between schools in Chirundu district and schools in Lusaka has really improved the learning environment for our pupils here in the district. The provision of teaching and learning aids, because a lot of schools have benefited in terms of books which have been given or donated by the schools from Lusaka.
So this also works well with the theme in the 7th National Development Plan, which talks of accelerated development efforts without leaving anyone behind. Looking at that aspect of not leaving anyone behind, a school with a financial strength would pull along a school with less financial resources, so that this could be brought to the same page with the other school that is well placed in terms of finances. And then from what will be realized through production unit, the school now can stand on its own to buy computers for the school, to buy teaching and learning materials for the school, and so on and so forth. Right. So this is basically the idea.
So schools can run as business ventures and entities. This is the way to go. And I want to thank you, Bonapio, with your team, for having come up with such a wonderful idea of twinning the schools. And I'm sure the nation is learning from this, from your province. You know, some other provinces have been saying, we are in the urban setting, we have got no land. But look at Lusaka, what they've done. They twin with the rural districts, rural schools, which have learned. And they will be collaborating at that level. What you have done is commendable. And I want to use this platform to urge other provinces who are still maybe doubting that there is something happening here in Lusaka. We have got a lot of lessons that we can learn from here. You see, investing in production unity must not be viewed as a punishment to the children. It is one way of giving our boys and girls the skills and the competences that they will live with, even after leaving leaving school. That's the way to go as a nation.
In support of the program, Chief Chipepo and Chief Sinkongo expressed gratitude towards the Ministry of General Education for such a wonderful program, which will enable learners acquire survival skills by engaging in different kinds of production units.
For example,
so in this chiefdom, our children, they are now exposed. You know, they are now able to move at least together with those people, with those children who are in the urban areas. even the parents, because they have been also been sent to interact with the way the schools are being run, and they have been also bringing, some ideas which they have seen somewhere, which they are now able to, able to use in these schools. So that is the advantage of it, actually.
Seeing what our schools have done from Lusaka district, helping our learners here in Chirundu district under training program, would like to extend our olive branch to other stakeholders out there in the country, and even those in diaspora who would want to come on board and do their part. Need areas vary from school to school. In some schools, it can be classroom space. In some, it's staff accommodation. In others, water and sanitation. And also, almost in all the schools, to enhance production units. Thank you. I would like to appreciate our two PSs in the Ministry of General Education for having supported the twinning program. That is Dr. Mlwanda and Dr. Jobix Kalumba. They have always been with us to support whatever we need from the ministry. I would want to appreciate the support of the PO, Dr. Christopher Sinkamba. Ever since he came in the province, he has made sure whatever activities we are doing concerning twinning programs in the district is there with us. From the district, I want to appreciate the role the two Royal Highnesses have played, supporting, helping to mobilize human and material resources in our communities so that our schools are developed. I would want to appreciate also the District Commissioner, Mr. Danford Siame, for his support. The Council Chairperson, Mr. Robinson Siandua. The Council Secretary, Mr. Mwanza. And also my fellow Debs from Lusaka, Mr. Mwanza. And all our head teachers, both from Lusaka and Chirundu in these twin schools. They have done a wonderful job. We also have our community members who have brought in a lot of upfront materials for us to be able to put up, for instance, a 1x3 classroom block and a 3-bedroom staff house at Nkandabwe Primary School. I thank them for that. All our teachers, all our learners, all these people, they have played different roles and everything was just going towards the same, helping to build our schools in Chirundu district. Thank you so much.
To sum up, despite the twinning program being in its infancy, the program has demonstrated its potential to bridge the gap between rural and urban schools. Furthermore, the program is aimed at realizing the country's aspirations through the fulfillment of the 7th National Development Plan and Vision 2030. This program will ensure that no one is left behind. It is also hoped that more partners will support this program.